Ohana Online, testing sound check for Sunday, 6:30 p.m. All right, let's get this party started. We are going to get started on our backs this evening. And there are a couple of different ways that you can do that, but before you get on your back, I just want to have us prepared with everything in the right place. So what I'll have you do is place your bolster at the head of your mat, so on the side of your mat that's closest to the back wall, back of your mat, easier said. So that will be towards the back. It doesn't need to be on your mat. Great. And then your blanket will be over to your right. Okay. Yeah, cool. So bolster somewhere near the top of your mat, blanket on your right. Exactly. Awesome. So go on and head to your back. I'm going to start to get grounded here in our practice. Yeah. So as you arrive, maybe you notice extra wiggles you need to get out before this practice really kicks off. Maybe there are some thoughts you're still hanging on to that don't belong in this room. This time I invite you to really bring your awareness to the here and now. The present moment, the only moment that truly matters. Notice if you feel in your body or out of your body without judgment. It's okay, just notice. Where are you right now in time and space? Are you in the past? Are you in the future? See if you can imagine yourself visually pulling the past you and the future you into this present moment. Noticing that every thought you have, any decision you make, every breath that you breathe from here on out will affect what happens in the future. So you have an opportunity here to be really intentional, really conscious. Our theme for today's class will be anchored. A lot of the work that I do with my clients is around anchoring our nervous system, anchoring our self-understanding, so that we can build towards the best and brightest life and career. What we do here on the mat is right in line with that. Being able to anchor into our bodies, being able to anchor our nervous systems, if only for 60 minutes here together, so that we can change our shape, our way of being, our actions when we leave this space. So coming back to that idea of pulling your past version of you and your future version of you here into your present body, being able to really anchor. Feel as if there are roots growing behind your spine down into the earth. If that visual doesn't quite sit with you today, you might also imagine yourself floating in the still water of a lake. Notice which one you need today and anchor into that. Good. Take a deep breath in, fill up belly, heart, lungs, and soul. Exhale out. Good. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 2 more just like that. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. Back to natural breath, seeing if you can keep your lips slightly sealed. Breathing in and out through your nose. If it feels okay. If it doesn't, you can continue with the mouth. We'll begin to move. From your laying position, down on the mat, bring your knees in toward your chest. Hands can hug around your shins, and for a moment, just slightly rock side to side, massaging out your spine. See if your low back can touch the ground. In order to do that, you might need to slightly untuck your pelvis. So instead of your pelvis pointing up towards you, you might keep it more square. Good. From here, place left foot down on the ground. Hug right knee in. You can interlace your hands behind your hamstring or over your shin. Flex your toes towards you. Point them away. Flex towards you. Point them away. Continue just like that. And then circle your ankle one way. And then the other. The other way might feel a little unnatural because we naturally go one way, usually clockwise. Good. From here, we're going to take a hip flexor stretch. So this is where the blanket might come into action. You will bring your right foot underneath your left knee. Your right hip will rotate externally. Right knee will go down and away from you. Blanket might come into action underneath your hip, thigh, or knee. Good, yeah. And you might catch your right foot with your left hand here. Again, your blanket can come underneath your hip if you'd like. Stay here or extend your left leg down to the ground all the way straight. Yeah. Start to settle in. Beautiful. Notice what this shape makes you feel in your body. Maybe you actually feel some tension in your neck here, in your jaw, in your ankle or toes. Noticing what's happening in your body, even saying, ooh, that feels weird. It's actually bringing you more into the present moment. That's one way of practicing presence, is noticing your embodied experience. We're about halfway through this shape. If there's anything that you want to change, if you want to make use of your blanket, even getting out any additional wiggles you might have. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Really good. One more inhale. Exhale. Start to unravel. You can keep your left leg extended if you'd like. And then just start to circle your knee, maybe with the assistance of your hands or not. Trying a shape. The other way. Good. Place your right foot down, right knee up to the sky. We're going to move our blanket. So pick up your blanket and move it to your left side. You might even unfold it once. We're going to head into half frog and do so in a pretty intentional way. checking out how our hip is feeling after that stretch. So you can bring your right knee towards your chest and just hug it in briefly. And then extend your left arm overhead like you're reaching back behind you. Maybe you touch the bolster. And start to roll over to your left like you're going to get up to the left. Yeah, cool. So your right knee is landed on your blanket, probably. You can go all the way over, so you're even kind of slightly leaning towards the left. Yeah, cool. From here, this might be your shape, taking this this bit of a spinal twist, more exaggerated spinal twist, since we're more laying on our left side body, or continue the rotation so that your belly is on the ground. And this is where your bolster might come in handy. You can pull your bolster in. Yeah. And start to lay on your bolster. So we have the half frog variation, the lifted torso. Totally up to you if you want to be on the bolster or if you prefer to lay flat. You can decide here how much you want to feel. To find more depth, you'll bring your right knee in line with your right hip. And you'll find your right ankle in line with your knee. Good. Start to settle in. Coming back to your breath, notice if you're holding it or if you're breathing shallow in this moment. Good. I can hear some breath. We're about halfway through this pose. If there's anything you'd like to change, even if that's just taking a few deep breaths. Take a deep breath in, fill up belly, heart, lungs, and soul. Exhale out. Gently unraveling together, rolling towards your left side body. Your left knee can come up. So you're kind of in a fetal position on your left. Good. Take a moment, re-anchor. Breath in, breath out. Start to press your way up. You can face towards me. We've done quite a bit of external rotation through the right, so we'll take a little bit of internal. You can bring your blanket just in between your legs here. And then you'll set your palms behind you. Feet will plant on the ground, and then knees go over towards your left, over towards your right. I guess my right and left, so switch it for you. And then you'll dip your right knee down to the ground. Good. And then place your left foot on top, if that's accessible for you. Yeah, so now we're finding a little bit of internal rotation. Won't be here too long, so it won't be a big strain on your wrists. But see if you can relax into it. Notice if you're hyperflexing into your arms here too. Find a little bend through your elbows. Yeah. One more breath in. Breath out. Good. You can take your left foot off your right. Move side to side once again just to feel how things are going. And then you'll come back to your back, keeping your blanket, moving it over to the left side. Sliding right onto your back, and then we'll come back into that anchoring. So place your feet on the ground, knees up towards the sky. You might find one hand on your heart, one on your belly. Notice the quality of your nervous system right now. A good way to tap into that is noticing if you can describe how you're feeling energetically. Is it like you're in a bit of a tornado? Things feel cloudy or murky? Or do you feel connected, grounded, peaceful? Just noticing the quality of your energy. Intentionally choosing to anchor using something like your breath. You can pay attention to your inhales or exhales. You can also draw your attention to one of the lights above you. That's a great way to anchor. If you want to connect visually. Or maybe you tap into the sound in the room. Do you hear the music? You can extend your right leg out long. Left knee can come in towards your chest. Roll your ankle one way. And the other way. And then point your toes and flex them back. Point your toes and flex them back 2 more times. Good. From here, we're going to take that hip flexor stretch again. So you might begin with your left foot or your right foot planted again, and then weave your left foot underneath your right knee, grabbing your left foot with your right hand, perhaps using your blanket or not. If you feel good, you can extend your right leg down to the ground. Take a deep breath in, fill up. Exhale out. Good. You can begin to unravel. Bring your knee back to your chest. Good. From here, extend your right leg down to the ground. Bring your blanket over to the other side. And then we'll take a spinal twist first. So stretch your left leg over your right side body and then just keep turning. So you're on your right side body all the way over to the side. Yeah. Extend your left arm overhead. And then continue rolling until you're all the way on your front body. Option to use your bolster or not, coming into half frog. You can deepen this pose by making sure that your hips are square to the mat. Bring your left knee in line with your left hip and bring your left ankle in line with your knee. Good. We're a little more than halfway through this shape. If there's anything you'd like to change or adjust, do so now. Take a deep breath in, fill up. Take a exhale out, empty. Feel yourself anchoring into this moment, into your body. And then you'll start to turn all the way over to your left in a fetal position. Your head can lay on your bicep if you'd like. Otherwise, just temple on the ground is fine. A moment here. Press your way up. Turn towards me. Take that same motion that we did before, getting into the internal rotation. Bring your hands behind you, the blanket in between your legs. Dip your legs over to the right and left, just like that. Landing over towards your left, and then stacking over towards your right, and then stacking. Yeah. I notice over here on myself a little bit more of a pull through my TFL all the way up through my low back, which is interesting. It's always funny when we get into different shapes. Like, oh, I don't know what that means, but here I am. Release it. Ooh. Find your way to tabletop. Stack your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees under your hips, and then flow through a cow. Shine your heart, dip your belly, and cat. Tuck your pelvis concave. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And now yogi's choice. Decide how dramatic or subtle you want this to be. Feel free to add in some yummy hip circles. It's a little bit of a free form moment we have here. Yeah, listen in. What do you need to be fully anchored? What is your body asking for? Really good. I love what I'm seeing. Love what I'm seeing. Good. Just a few more breaths. Beautiful. And start to sit back onto your knees if that's comfortable. We're going to be coming into a restorative fish pose, which can be a beautiful heart opener. We'll use our 2 blocks. And the way that our blocks will be stacked, pretend that I am the mat. Your blocks will be stacked like so. You might even have the one on the top a little bit higher. You can kind of experiment, and I'm here to help. I don't usually put them together because one will be behind your head and the other one will be supporting your spine. So the one supporting your spine is going to be the long way and the other way the short. And then you can sit up on a blanket if you'd like. That's totally an option, or flat on your mat. And then you'll start to lay back. Again, you might need to make an adjustment with your block. Bringing it straight behind you. I have a bun that's totally in the way. Getting yourself into a position where you have a slight heart opening, but not so over exaggerated that something feels wrong or you're cranking your neck. Please give me a wave if you need me to adjust your blocks. Sometimes it can be hard to do it when you're laying on top of them. So I'm here for you. Good. And then feet can stay planted on the ground. Legs can extend long. Another great option is bringing the soles of the feet together. Yeah. Beautiful. I got you. How does that feel?
It's pushing. It's sticking a little bit.
Yeah, totally. Let's see. Try this. And then I have one other option for us. Back. Is it okay? Okay, good. Yeah, so maybe next time for you it might feel better to bring it a little bit higher. Another great option that I'll just tell you if this ever feels a little too wonky is to use this instead and just put it right behind you. Yes. Lauren, do you want me to put this bolster under your knees? See what that is. How's that? Okay. Okay, cool. Whew. Opening up your heart space. You're lifted off the ground, but feel still how anchored, how supported you are. Totally. It can be nice to actually volunteer the bolster in place of those if you want to try that. Okay. Yeah. So same sort of thing here. How's that? And then the blanket can also come behind your head. Okay. Yeah, if it ever starts to feel too spicy, you just give me a wave. Figure it out together. Another great option that I'll just show you at home, should you need one, is to use the bolster instead of the blocks and even lay a blanket behind your head. Same sort of idea here with the heart opening. Take 5 more breaths right here. And then you'll begin to make your way out of this pose. The most gentle way may be rolling over to one side. And pausing there for a moment. Yeah, beautiful. 3 breaths. And then gently press your way up. Good. As our final pose, before our final pose, we'll take a seated straddle. The way that we'll attempt our seated straddle today, so you can take 2 blocks and stack them in front of you. I'll get to the blanket in a moment. The bolster will come on top of those blocks. Blanket, first of all, your feet can come around your bolster. It does not matter how far apart your legs are. If it feels better, it might feel a little extreme to have them extended out. A straddle is anything that's more than your legs being together. So if you want them to just be outside of the bolster, totally fine. So we're going to fold forward on top of our bolsters. So it might just look like crawling down. If you want to bring yourself even closer, you can either apply a blanket or you sit up on a blanket. Basically 2 ways to actually add the same amount of space. Finally, the last option that I'll give you is sometimes this can actually be too much, and it can feel better to bring the bolster close, place it on your forehead, and give it a little hug. So find your shape. One other recommendation that I'll give is sometimes we have our sits bones forward. See if you can slightly tuck your pelvis back and maybe remove some of the fleshy parts of your glutes so you have more room to fold forward. Finding your shape, your expression of this shape. And of course, giving me a wave at any time you want a little assistance. I'll let you know when we're halfway through in case you'd like to turn your gaze the other way. Coming back to our theme of anchoring. Noticing if you can find an anchor within yourself right now. Any area that feels particularly grounded. Find that area of your body, the one that feels safe, connected, grounded. Just focus your attention on that one area of your body, no matter how big or small it is. And as you breathe, imagine that area growing bigger, radiating a certain light. Watch as it travels beyond that one spot, cascading through muscles, ligaments, connective tissues, and cells. Maybe you even notice it reaching to your fingertips, toes, eyes, and ears. It's okay if the process is slow, doesn't happen right away. Even if it expands just 1%, that's enough, more than enough. We're halfway through. If you'd like to change the switch of your gaze or anything about this shape, 3 more breath cycles here, watching each inhale and exhale continue to radiate, illuminate that anchored part within you. And then gently begin to walk your way up. It's a great position to be in because we're going to take our Shavasana with 2 blocks and a bolster if you'd like. It's always just an invitation. But you'll stack them. So you're at the back of your mat, towards the back of your mat right now. So stack them at the back of your mat, the block to the back of your mat on the middle level. And then the bolster will go right on top. And then your blanket can either be underneath your head or over your belly. So however you'd like to be, over your belly if you want a little bit extra grounding, that can feel really nice. Or under your head if you just want to feel like you're sleeping at home, super relaxed, just kicking back. Notice once you arrive to your back, if your pelvis is slightly tucked backwards, and just lift up your hips and just give your pelvis a little scoop forward. So you might even use your hands to slightly press your glutes away from you. Yeah, good. Finding yourself in your final resting posture. Notice if you need to move a little bit closer to your bolster so your knees are closer to the bolster. Yeah, good. Good. Shavasana. Allow yourself to take your sweet time here, coming out of Shavasana. Instead of guiding you out, I invite you to be your own guide, seeing if you can hold on to our theme of anchor as you move into the rest of your evening and into your week. Namaste.